Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North, fresh from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
The All-Star Mariners, baby.
The tale of two parts of a week and a little bit extra. We're going to dive into all of that. But before we do, why don't I tell you a little bit about us? If you're looking for a guy that threw out some pretty obscure facts over this All-Star break, like throwing out that this was Brian Blue's first appearance going less than 6 innings. And if you're looking for more fun facts like that, maybe you should follow me, your boy Coach Red. You can find me on X at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. And if you're looking for a guy that is beyond excited for his favorite Mariner to be doing big things like
That's
partnering
right.
with Honey Bucket, it's Kane.
Yeah, I'm Kane. You can find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok, and Twitch, Kane0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it, freaking do it.
And you would think, since the title of this episode is going to be Kicking It with the Derby Dumper, that we would jump right into All Star stuff, but you'd be wrong, idiot. We're actually going to talk about last week's games, the series against the Yankees and against the Tigers. Um, Very frustrating series against the Yankees
Yeah.
overall. You wanted to go in there, you were within striking distance on getting to the top of the wild card race in that series. And you were having Houston that was losing, got swept by the Guardians, right? So trying to gain some ground. Mariners didn't do that.
Got
Variety
swept.
of ways to lose, a couple games that weren't close, and then a game where Brian Wu takes a no into the eighth inning and they lose the game in extras. So if you want to talk about disappointment, and then utterly thinking the season is lost
Yeah.
and that the Mariners are toast, you also throw in Julio decides to remove himself from the All-Star game. Luckily, Randy Arozarena is named as his replacement. But you're sitting there going, Julio's in a funk. He's not going to go to the All-Star game. The Mariners couldn't take advantage of a prime opportunity. They lost a game that in no business they should have lost.
And also, like, in that
And now
series,
you're going to
right?
Detroit, the best team in the American League.
Yeah. One of the so to kind of touch back on the Yankee series, it's like game one, Logan was cruising, absolutely like looked to form, and then they got hit with a 40-minute rain delay,
Yep.
and still came back out and just wasn't himself afterwards, and it sucks for me because that's my pick to click.
Yeah, it was weird. But then going into Detroit right before the break, coming off uh extremely disappointing series, and the Mariners turned around and took care of business.
Yeah,
They're standing on business in that.
they second time they've knocked Tariq Skubal out.
The You ready for fun facts?
Yes, I'm ready for fun
All-star
facts.
starter Tariq Skubal has 67% of his losses this year against the Mariners. He has
Yeah,
three
he is.
losses, two against the Mariners. Fun
Yeah.
stats from Coach Red.
And they also put it on Casey Mice, too. Another all-star.
And for the most part, really stymied their bats. I mean, they got a little bit more alive on Sunday, but the Mariners were able to do enough late to go ahead and win the game. And Julio started hitting the ball hard again and getting some extra base hits in New York. And last year, earlier this year, it's something we've always talked about is when Julio's right and having fun, team does well. Julio was having a lot of fun in the Motor City, putting the ball out of the ballpark, hitting the ball hard.
Straight games too. That's the important part right there. 3 straight games he had a home run in. It's
Yep.
amazing to see.
Second time in his career, you had Randy going yard. You had
Randy's staying
Cal
hot.
You had Cal Raleigh going yard. You had Polanco going yard. Like the offense
Cole
seemed
Young going yard.
to Cole Young. We're going to talk about Cole Young um, when we talk about the hitters, but to go from it's such Mariners fandom
Mm-hmm.
to going against a Yankees team that's reeling and
Yeah.
get swept, then go against the Tigers team who's hot and the best team st- in the standings in the American League and go into their house and take care of business because the other thing that the Mariners have not done very well dating back to their manager's time when he was the manager of the Houston Astros, they do not do very well against AJ Hinch. They don't.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't.
that's true. That's
Outside
true.
of like Detroit's down year, like before the rebuild started, even then, like they were sneaky good against the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
I think
But
that
it's fun to see them in both series, like kind of come alive, right? Because that's gonna be postseason baseball at some point, and to see them do it off the best pitcher in the league right now, I think it's a tie between him and Skeens, right? But to watch them just light up Scooble like that and bounce him in the fourth, I believe after the fourth he was gone.
yep, he might have got through five.
But yeah, Julio took him deep. That's
Took
when
him real
he
deep.
he sure did.
And
Oh,
this proves that the Mariners need some more pieces. I've seen
100%.
reports over the All-Star break that all prospects are on the table. The ownership group has committed to spending more money. I think they could see the potential. You're seeing the rotation come back around. You're seeing at points in time, I think that last year in June, the Mariners team batting average, I saw this stat on one of the broadcasts where like through June, the Mariners batting average last year was like 220 as a team. At like tail end of June, start of July, the Mariners didn't have an everyday starter who had below a 220 average.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the bats come alive. You're seeing improvements in the, let's still call it a little bit of rehab with Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. You're seeing immaculate things from Brian Blue. You're getting throwback Luis Castillo, at least for the last four starts.
Yep.
You're seeing good things out
Of
of
Logan
Logan Evans.
Evans.
You've seen good things out of Emerson Hancock when he was with the big ball club. And Bryce Miller's not too far from potentially being back.
Mhm.
You're going to look at this where, as much as I love single and doubles merchant Ben Williamson, I think that he's a guy that could still be on this team for a run when the rosters expand as a late inning defensive replacement.
Yep.
But you need more bang for your buck with
I
the bat
agree.
there. I do think that you can make a play where Dominic Canzone with his uptick can become a little bit more expendable because I
Yep.
think that Luke Rayleigh is more
I
important to
I
this team.
exactly said the same thing today. I said that
And
exact
I
same thing.
think that you would probably get a similar return for either right now,
Hmm.
if we're being completely honest. So if you can go make a play for a left-handed hitting first baseman, then that allows you to put Canzone a little bit more heavy into trade talks if someone's wanting. I think Canzone's more of like, I'm going to go get a reliever type guy.
I
Hey,
agree.
we've got a hole in the outfield. We got this reliever. Canzone's still young enough. It seems like his power's coming around. His average is up to what it's been in the past. Let's take a chance here,
Mhm.
and then we'll throw in a prospect, lower level. Outside of, if we're looking at the Mariners, before we get into the All Star festivities, right? Acuna may or may not be on the table.
I don't know though. Like the package you have to give up for that is most of your future.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's a guy that
Like Lazaro Montez is in that package.
I saw some different ones where, like, one package was Bryce Miller, Matt Brash, Colt Emerson, Laz Montez, and Harry Ford. And I go,
Mhm.
there's
No
absolutely no
way.
way that that is
That's
what would
a
be offered.
like. Don't get me wrong. Ronald Acuna Jr. is is what like Julio can
Two top
be.
30 prospects, another top 100, a reliever with a sub 1 ERA on the season, and a guy who
Can
last
slot in
year
at three
was
or your three
almost
hitter.
unhittable
Or
for the
yeah.
second half of the season.
Yeah, no thank you. I'm good.
That's not going to happen. But when you look outside of that,
I have
Mariners have been linked
I
to Naylor. They've been linked to Gino, and I think that you could make a package that makes sense. I think with that, if you're going for both of them, you're probably going to have to include
Logan
someone from
Evans
the
in
major
that.
league roster, but I don't think that you're going to have to give up multiple top 10 prospects.
Like, here's my thing, right? After the draft and all, now that that's all laid to rest, Logan Evans is expendable for me because of KADE Anderson. Like, and the prospects that you have, right? You have Ryan Sloan, you have Durandro Clemente still in your farm, so you could package something, and Logan Evans would go to Arizona most likely in that trade.
I don't think with the health of where the Mariners are at
I know.
that they should be dealing from their starting rotation at or near the major league level,
Hey, dude.
especially because you don't know if Bryce is going to have to get shut down. Emerson has been up and down, right? I think that one's a little bit tougher. I think
Sure.
that this really, the Mariners drafted like three catchers, one in the first round or in the competitive balance round.
Yeah.
Harry Ford is not on this team. I don't know where
No.
he goes, but I do not think that he is on this team at the trade deadline.
No. No way, dude. No
Stock's too
way.
high. He's too blocked.
He's killing it in AAA. Do you think Tyler Locklear is dealt? I just it's a personal question.
I'm torn on that because I do think that Tyler Locklear has done enough this year in AAA to show that he can be a big league ball player.
Mhm.
I think that I could very, if he isn't included in a deal, I think he's sitting at like, well, after the draft. When I looked, didn't have draft picks included, but I do think that he's probably sitting at 10 or 11, maybe 12 after the draft class is imported.
Mhm.
I don't know how many teams are looking for a right-handed first baseman of the future.
That's fair. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him either.
I
Because
think that especially when you look at this team, you've got Luke Rayleigh through this year. I think maybe next year. No, I think this is his last year under contract unless he signed a small extension. But Solano's not on this team next year. Even if you go get a Josh Naylor, he's a rental. If you go get a Ryan O'Hearn, he's a rental. So I'm looking at Tyler Locklear as like low key, maybe first baseman of the near future.
I mean that's fair. We all thought that about Evan White, and that look how that turned out.
But I also do think that down the road, if Las Montes loses a step, that he's going to learn first base really quickly because he's a big, big man and he's very athletic and he has a hose.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. All right.
All right,
Let's hitting stuff now.
sure.
Or
Let's talk about stats. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was only going to talk about 7 guys, but I had to throw in an eighth because your picked click had a terrible average because he sucks.
hey,
Um,
don't you disrespect our Lord and Savior, big number like that.
I was just pulling my best Vinny Pasquantino. If you haven't seen that tweet, or
Uh,
X or whatever they call it, um, it was so great. He's like,
do you want me to? Do
"Oh,
you
I
want me?
hit the." You have it pulled up on you right now.
I
I
could
could have paraphrased it
literally
very well,
give me like 1 second.
but if you want to be official with it, we can.
It says, where the hell is it? He tweeted
Killing
a
it.
lot over this. It's like, oh, I'm Cal Raleigh. I have a cool nickname. I hit
That's
tons of bombs.
that's not even what he said.
Then go ahead.
Jesus. It
I'm
started off with,
trying to
"Oh,
find it.
I hit lots of home runs. Oh, I can hit them from both sides. Oh, I have the coolest nickname in the league." It was basically like, "Screw you, Cal Raleigh." It was all in jest after he hit home runs on either side of the plate at the home run derby.
Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm Cal Raleigh. I hit a lot of home runs. I hit from both sides of the plate. I play the most valuable position. I have one of the coolest nicknames in sports. Screw you, man.
I was very
Shout out
close.
Vinny.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, let's
Shout
get
out
into the other
Pasquatch.
hitters. All right, at the top of the average chart, we've
Should be
got
Julio.
very close Dominic Canzone
Oh,
with a 421 average on the
had a
week,
great week.
8 hits, 1 run, two doubles, one
How many
RBI.
RBIs? Yeah,
And it wasn't from a homer because that's usually the only RBIs he gets. So it's an improvement.
it is. It is an improvement. Yeah, Don Canzel's just been so much fun to watch lately. And let's not forget the hose piece he has. When he sniped Glaber at second, oh,
Whoa. Did you just get bricked up there?
dude, like that was an absolute dart. Couldn't have been thrown any better. I did not expect to see that out of Dom Canzone, especially playing it off the wall bare hand. Just, it was an amazing play.
I will say that there may be a handful of things that you might be a little bit more in depth on this episode because, due to schedules, I only got to watch 3 games of the Mariners this week,
That's fair.
and only Friday of the Tiger series.
Yeah. Isn't that what he threw him out to? Was Friday?
I
Pretty
don't
sure.
know, he did not because Scuba was on the bump.
Oh, that's right. It was on Saturday.
Yep.
You should look it up. It was pretty neat.
All right. Our next highest average with a 389 average. Can you guess who it is?
This one's Julio.
Yep. Cole Young is correct.
Oh,
Cole Young, 7 hits, 4 runs, one double, 2 home runs, including his first in the big leagues at Yankee Stadium, and then had one at I
yeah.
think it's so. Is it
It's
Comerica?
Comerica.
And then 4 ribbies on the week.
Absolutely crushed his second one. First one barely got out.
First one was wall scraper.
It was short porch glory for him, but the one in Comerica, dude, absolutely nuked it. Like from the get-go, he pimped it. It was awesome. I was going nuts because everybody knows how big of a Cole Young fan I am. So
Yeah,
it's
he
good to
sprinkled in
see.
some of those bad weeks, and then he does have little singles merchant in him at times. It was nice to see a week where you saw multiple extra base hits, and especially ones going out of the yard. I
Mhm.
do think that his ceiling is a 25 home run type guy from second base. I think he's probably going to be within the realm in a full season, probably 15 to 25, maybe as low as 10. But
Mhm.
if he can have his average up around 270, you're talking about a really good second baseman
Yeah,
in baseball. So it was a fun glimpse to watch Cole Young play up to what we saw with Cole Young in AAA for a good chunk of the season.
exactly.
All right, the
I'm not gonna
next
guess anymore.
top average batting 360. Kane, guess again.
I'm not doing it. Just tell me who it
Throw out
is.
throw out a player.
It's either is it Ben Williamson?
It is J.P.
Oh
Crawford.
yeah, JP had an awesome week too.
J.P. Crawford, 9 hits, 6 runs scored, 2 doubles, 1 homer, and 6 RBIs. Big week, big week
Big
for
week.
JP.
I mean, this kind of just coincided. Everybody was hot this week.
Well, they
Everybody,
were they were
and
they were
in Detroit.
hotter in Detroit.
Yes, yes,
They boat raced them twice.
yeah,
It's true. They did.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Next hitter we've got with a 320 average,
I'm not guessing anymore.
Julio Rodriguez. 10 hits, 10 runs
Yeah,
scored,
he was a demon this week.
4 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, 2 stolen bases.
A big week, huge
Oh,
week.
it's his arguably the biggest
Best,
week when he needed it the most. And this team
yeah,
needed it the most, especially when he got very hot in Detroit.
yeah. He opted out and then decided to go ham.
The
It's
weight was
a
off
good,
his shoulders.
it's a good look for trying to get right for the second half. That's a good start.
All right. The next top hitter with a 300 average, you've said his name before,
It's Ben Williamson.
Ben Williamson. 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 double, 3 RB or yep, 3 RBIs.
It's a good solid week. That is a solid week, and that's exactly what you expect of him, honestly. Like,
I'll take that out of my 8 or 9 hitter.
yeah, I mean, this is what he is, right? Like, he's not gonna be flashy. He's not for a lot of power, except he is
Well, he had
becoming
a
a
two
doubles
RBI
merchant.
single.
He is starting to be a doubles merchant, and it's great.
He's getting there. He did have a 2 RBI single against the Tigers to help
Yeah,
blow it up open on Friday night.
exactly. And so just the stuff you're seeing out of the whole lineup, honestly, has been very great. And like, I know, are we not going to talk about Polanco in this, or is he on there?
The next top average at 286 is Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, he had a big week
Six
too.
hits, 5 runs, 1 double, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs.
Yeah, he found the power again. And they're not just cheap little gimme homers. They are hit really hard again. And it's something that, we haven't seen from Jorge Polanco since a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Jorge Polanco is straight up a Katy Perry song, dude. He's hot and he's cold. He's yes, then he's no, because he's either scorching hot or he is cold as ice.
Yeah. And he can only swing from one side.
He's been swinging from both
I know, but when he's
again.
cold, he usually can only swing from one side. It's because he's injured. But when he's hot, it's fun to watch. Uh I really hope the next little final stretch, pretty much, you could see him kind of heating up as the weather gets a lot warmer.
Speaking about a guy who stayed hot, the average might not reflect it, but everything else does. It's Randy Rosarena, 280 average on the week, 7 hits, 7 runs, 1 double, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, throwing a stolen base for good measure. Big ups to him for being named the replacement. I saw some other guys like George Springer getting a lot of love as being the biggest snub. And then people were saying, oh, Randy should have got in above Julio. Well, Julio kind of proved a little bit over the weekend where if you have a good little 3 homer weekend, it really closes the gap, even though Randy's been on an absolute tear for the
Yeah,
last 9
3 weeks.
games,
Yeah,
14 games.
yeah. It's been fun to watch. This is the Randy you traded for. This is him, right? And there's only one thing I can complain about. It's just the jogging in left field to balls. I can live with it if he's putting up numbers.
You've got you take the good with the bad with Randy,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
All right, and the last hitter we're going to talk about is Cal Raleigh. Was 136 average on the week. He had 3 hits. He scored 3 runs. He had 3 home runs. He had
Mm,
8 RBIs and sprinkled in a stolen base.
that he did. Yeah.
Which his stolen base was because Julio got the steal and Cal got it as a part of a double steal.
We'll take it, right?
You made it seem like,
But
oh yeah, I did.
Grand Dumper, though, again. I believe that's his third Grand Slam of the year. Uh, 38 home runs before the break, one shy of tying Barry Bonds.
Well,
What Cal Raleigh has done this year has been absolutely insane.
and on he passes Ken Griffey. He ties Ken Griffey with the most multi home run games in a single season at 8 for the Mariners. So, good chance that Cal Raleigh has a chance to go past that. Um, we're going to get into Cal more later to talk. Wasn't the best week for him. You saw him pressing a little bit. Wasn't behind the dish every game, which I think was good. I think he only caught
100%.
3 games. I
I
think
believe
that
so.
legitimately you had Garver catching 3 of the 6 games on this roadie,
I think
knowing
so.
that Cal had the upcoming All Star events. I think it was smart, but like you said, he'll be able to get back into his regular routine. I don't think I don't think that he's going to be on such a big media hype that he was
No.
leading up to the All-Star game. I think it's going to be increased than what it was prior to a month and a half ago.
Mm.
But he can get back into that routine and get back to what he does best, right? Which is hit baseballs hard and far and control a pitching staff.
Yeah, and the one thing that has dipped for him in the last, I want to say 2 weeks, is just sprinkling in multiple hits, right? It's just been the long ball. And as fun as that is, I still like it when Cal is scorching the ball to every part of the field. It doesn't need to go out for him, right? Just improve the MVP case a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
I think that Cal Raleigh as well, his single in the All Star game that we'll get to was his first single, not extra base hit in like since June something. Everything's
Yeah,
been a home run or a double.
yeah, yeah.
But you had Cal Raleigh this week for picks click. I had Julio Rodriguez. We're going to chalk that up as a win for me on that. Julio,
I just got
arguably the best week.
Yes, I agree. And then I absolutely got screwed on the pitcher side.
All right, let's start off with our relievers. Um, Especially with the Yankee series, you saw Spire, Brash, and Munoz all give up runs in that series,
Mhm.
not what you're used to seeing. So they do not make the list this week. I did make an exception because we only had one reliever that had a 0 ERA on the week. So I threw in one where I usually don't throw in the guys that have 1 innings pitch, but I did. First guy is Burgois or Burgos. 0 ERA, 2 and 2/3 innings pitch, 4 Ks, and 1 walk.
I mean,
I don't mind this rookie in the pen right now. I mean, he's not as electric as Troy Taylor was last year. I think coming
sure.
off the injury, I hope that we can see him back before the end of the year and things are getting right for him. I have not really looked at him since getting sent down.
It's not been very good down there.
I think that I think that he rushed himself back, and I don't think he's still fully healthy, and he's just trying to fight through it to get back to the big leagues. It's
Yeah.
tough as a reliever, especially when you've had some success. You look
Mm,
at Munoz, right? So Munoz, big when he came up with the Padres, had Tommy John, then came over here early on. He was being used not even as a setup man, right?
mm,
So it's tough to find those, and you could just see so much variations with relievers. You look at some of the guys that we brought in, like the Casey Sadlers of the world, or God, I'm trying to think of his name right now. Big, tall righty who had an absolutely phenomenal year. Thought he was going to be the setup man the next year. To Paul Sewald, and then he had like a 6 ERA after the first month and was getting hit around
I don't
like crazy.
remember.
It's gonna kill me. I might think of it later, but I think with the guy like Troy Taylor, you could see the volatility of a bullpen guy,
Mm,
and just wanting to be back at the big league level because once you get set down, you never know, right?
yeah.
But speaking of a guy who you never know when he's going to come back, it's Taylor Saucedo. He's the other guy with
Yeah.
0 ERA on the week. He had one
Sauce,
inning pitch
baby.
and he had 1K, no walks.
Yeah, it's a great sauce outing, right? That's the one we all remember because he was pretty clutch last year.
He was a paternity leave fill in for Carlos Vargas.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Carlos.
I'm still shocked you're still on this team, to be honest. At least just after the whole start of the year, he's locked it in. I am a big Carlos Vargas fan now. I like the stuff that he has. Nothing against him. It's just he was one of the potential thought that he was going to be off this team when they were being real bad.
I thought you were talking about Saucedo there for a minute, but I do
No,
think that Saucedo,
they need another lefty in the bullpen. I'll tell you what.
I think that he could be a sneaky guy. I think that you have a little wiggle room within the bullpen right now. You've got Colin Snyder, who should be back soon, which Jerry is going to try to pin as the big offseason bullpen move or in season bullpen move. And I don't want them to overpay because you look what it wasn't really an overpay, right? Where you traded um, Jonathan Class A for Yimi Garcia, and Yimi Garcia's first three outings was unhittable. Then he was hittable, and then he was done for the season. So trying to go get that rental reliever is tough. If there's a guy that I'd want to go see, it's probably David Bednar.
Yeah. And then the whole JT Chargois, like,
JT Chargois, I
I don't know
JT
why they
Chargois
didn't
last
use
year.
him.
Well, they did, and every time they did, they're good results. They just put him in the lowest of leverage. Like you went and acquired this guy to be not a high leverage guy, but at least a mid leverage guy, and they only used him in low. And
Yeah.
he did well almost every time that he was put in the situation.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was very weird.
All right, let's talk about some status. We'll get into our picks to click second, but we'll start with Brian Wu, who unfortunately ended with a 2.45 ERA on the week. 7 1/3 innings pitched, no decision, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Like we said, took a no into the eighth inning. Went 105 pitches, and Brian Wu is very good at throwing a baseball.
And also,
That's the best. I think that's the best thing I could say. He's very good at it.
and then the story came out today, that basically as soon as his no ended, like his grandfather passed away.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, one of his grandparents, I think, passed away like right after it ended. I mean, that's very heartbreaking and stuff, but like also super cool that his grandparent got to see that for last impression. You know what I mean? Before you
Okay,
go,
took a morbid turn. But we'll
Nick
talk about
Castellanos is probably hitting a
All
dinger
Star
somewhere.
Woo. But I'm glad that he wasn't included, and he on a big stage in Yankee Stadium showed a lot of people
Yeah,
why he deserves to be an All Star.
yeah. I mean, absolutely dealt was I arguably his best outing.
Ever.
Yeah, like dude was untouchable. I just couldn't believe it. and tough to see him get the loss on that.
So we're gonna go to your guy next, Logan Gilbert. He actually had a 3.38 ERA on the
It's
week.
not terrible.
10
Just
and two thirds innings pitched.
The Yankees start just hurt him.
Yep. 0 and 1. The loss was against the Yankees, but he had 14 Ks, 4 walks, pitched very well on Sunday, gave up a couple runs, but
Mhm.
Logan Gilbert is getting back to the Logan Gilbert that we have grown to know so well, right? You're seeing the glimpses. He's still giving up the long ball at a rate that we aren't typical of seeing him, and especially not just giving up solos. Like last year, you'd see him give up solo homers. You're seeing a little bit more of those multi-run home runs, and that's what's biting him. And want to see that those walk numbers tick down a little bit to see him start getting back into the seventh inning.
Yeah, I agree. I just he needs
He
the
had a good
break's probably
start
good
and he had
for
an
him.
unfortunate start.
Yeah, yeah. The Yankees start was super unfortunate.
All right, we'll go to George Kirby, who ERA does not look good, 7.2. Went 5 innings, but he got the win, 6 Ks, 3 walks, uncharacteristic. That's the game that I didn't see, but the Mariners decided they wanted to score a whole lot of runs. And I think that afforded George Kirby the leash, if you will, on not being as sharp as we saw him in his previous couple of outings.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that. I
So
just
I would say that Kirby and Gilbert, you can almost push them, but Julio so far above Cal that puts your boy Coach Red back on top of the
yeah,
picks to click for the season.
I just think the break for some of the players just really good for them, especially Logan and George. Working back from injuries and stuff, this break is probably going to help.
I think it's probably extremely good for Jorge Polanco.
Oh, extremely, extremely good. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Perfect. Kate, who's your pick to click for the upcoming
Uh,
series against the Astros?
uh, Hitter wise,
Correct.
I'm gonna go Cal again. Um, Making the statement against the Astros. Have to. This is a statement series. You need to come out strong, and I think that Cal's gonna be kind of the guy that drives it all. And if him and Julio are right, this is gonna be a good week. So, Coach Red, who's your hitter? Pick to click.
Tripling down on Julio
It's
Rodriguez.
fair.
Um, I think you're going to see at least one lefty um, during that series.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Julio is a good catalyst against the Astros.
I agree.
You really see the emotion play, and if he can have some semblance of the Detroit series, Mariners are going to be rolling.
Yeah, you're also playing at home. You're opening it up at home, so it's going to be a packed weekend as well, coming off All Star weekend. So,
All right, Kane, who is your pitcher pick to click?
so since you said we had to go relievers this week, since we don't know who's pitching yet, I'm gonna go with the good old Brash Panda. Yes, I know he gave up a run, but it happens, right? Relievers normally do. But Matt Brash has been so on point all year long since he got back. He is the Matt Brash we all know and love. And it's also against the Astros. I think everybody's going to bring it this weekend. So, Coach Red, who's your pick to click for the pitchers?
Eduardo Bizardo, baby. And
Yeah.
the reason I say that is because I could see potentially an unnamed starter because we don't know who they are. Maybe not getting as deep into a game. That game's close. Bizardo comes in, gives you 2 innings, shuts the door, and gets the win. I think that's. I could have very easily just said Andres Munoz going to get 2 saves, put a stamp on it, no races, throw it out the door, and we could have just went chalk. But I wanted to go
But
a little
Bizarro's been
bit
so
further
good.
outside the box.
He's been so good for such a long stretch. And it's So uncanny.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Picks Click. Like we said, upcoming series against the Astros. Let's talk about record right now. The Mariners are sitting at 51 and 45. It's a 531 winning percentage. They're currently 5 games back of the Astros with three coming up against them over the weekend. They are third in the wild card standings. They are 2 games behind the Yankees, 1 game behind Boston, and have a game and a half lead on the Rays. But I know how much we love to talk about hating the Astros, but from Friday until Tuesday,
Mariners fans were living it up.
I don't know if there's been much better outside of like the 14-game win streak or Cal getting them back into the playoffs in recent memory that everything came up aces. You sweep the number one Tigers. That same day that you complete the sweep, you get KADE Anderson gift wrapped on your
Yeah.
table, the highest floor starter out of all of the pitching prospects to come to the lab. And oh, by the way, this is a guy who everyone thought was going to go one, if not two, signed below slot at three.
Yeah, dude. Kate Anderson. Oh my god. Well, it's honestly one of the best pitchers in the country. It
The
absolutely
dude threw a complete game shutout.
shoved in the College World Series.
He threw a complete game shutout in the first game of the final.
Yeah. Awesome.
Lefty too.
Awesome.
Lefty.
That's what I love. We need more lefties on this in this pitching staff. We do.
But so that's great. Then Cal Raleigh decides that he is committing to the WBC 14 USNA.
Hell yeah. Move out the way, Trey Turner. There's a new Captain America. That's America's ass.
And the America runs on Dumper.
That's right.
Not Duncan. Dumper, baby. Then Cal Raleigh. Let's go to the home run derby.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh ends up tying Brent Rooker in the first round in distance of feet. And instead of having a swing off, they decide that the stat cast is so good that it can tell you that Cal Raleigh's baseball went under an inch further than Brett Rooker's longest
Yep.
home run.
And I think the only reason that that was a ruling, right, was because O'Neal Cruz and Junior Candelario,
Caminero.
Caminero, both hit 21, but O'Neal Cruz hit one 513. That put him in first because they've said distance was going to put you in the lead. So Cal Raleigh
When
indeed
you
hit
have
one
the same
further.
overall footage, I would have liked to see a swing out. I thought that we were going to be disappointed and see Cal with the early exit. Then to see him having to go up against O'Neal Cruz, who hit absolute rockets. Cal
Yeah.
Raleigh, the second round was his best round, in my
Yes.
opinion. And then he advances, goes first again, has a pretty decent round, and Caminero looked like he was on cruise control the whole derby and then couldn't find it late. Cal Raleigh's father is throwing to him. His brother, who is taller than him at 15, is catching. His mom was there. His grandma was there. His teammates were there. He's the first Mariner to win the home run derby since Ken Griffey Jr. I saw another stat that with his performance, the Mariners now have the most home runs in the home run derby all time.
Oh
Leads
yeah.
41, Julio.
Yeah.
You my boy, dude.
Also, 54 home runs. Get us closer to 54%, baby.
The one thing that he also hit 7 homers in the first round. He decided to switch it and then decided to go left the rest of the way. The one thing that I wish would have happened but didn't
Mm.
in the final round when he takes his time out, The dude should have thrown a backwards hat on one time for Griffey, who was in attendance. One time,
Yeah.
one
Who for the one
time,
time?
Cal. He did it after when seeing Griffey and giving him a hug. But
Yeah.
the one thing I will say, last year the Mariners didn't have a participant in the home run derby. We were at the home run derby when Julio put 41 in the first round, and then Julio's rookie year where he went to the finals.
Yep.
This was the most anticlimactic thing for
Mhm.
me as a Cal Raleigh and Mariners fan. Like Caminero got it within 3 homers, but that was like 3 homers with 2 outs or 1 out left to give.
There's one out.
So it was close enough where it was like he can get hot, but also you saw him top 3 outs out of the 4 he was allotted. And I just kind of felt like not as much as when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, where like after the first quarter, you just took a deep breath and like I've never enjoyed watching a football game more, knowing that my team is going to win a championship. Because that is not what you get to see with the Mariners, right?
Yeah.
You could have a no hitter going into eighth and be leading by 5 runs and lose in extra innings. I mean, it happens to some teams, but
True.
for me, it was a little anticlimactic and it
Yeah.
sucked because I was very excited. It was fun to see with
Like
the year that
James.
Cal is having. And the main thing that I wanted to see after he won, I just wanted to see him in that goofy ass chain.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just the glee on his face, dude. He was so happy. And just like the excitement, he's getting interviewed left and right. He's like, I don't even know what to say right now. Like,
His
I'm just
parents
so
dropped the
stoked.
clip of him at 8
Yeah.
from his backyard home run derby.
Yeah, just so awesome to see. And like when he hit the 18th one and you see his dad just turn around, both fists in the air, and his brother just chirping him on, like it was cinema, dude.
Yeah, congrats to Cal's brother who's about to turn 16, and Cal said he'll probably buy him a car now.
Yeah, all the freaking
Congratulations. But so sweep of the Tigers, draft KADE Anderson. Cal Raleigh wins the home run derby. Then we go to the All Star game where Cal Raleigh is the American League starting catcher. I'm pretty sure in the first inning, bottom of the first, you can hear him drop an F bomb from behind the plate,
yep.
which was cool. And then Clayton Kershaw gives up an absolute piss missile that Kyle Tucker makes an outstanding sliding catch to go get.
Future Mariner, by the way. Future Mariner.
Okay, TJ.
I'm with it, dude. I've wanted Kyle Tucker for so long. Sorry, get back to the All-Star game. Sorry.
And then Cal Raleigh in his next at bat laces a single to right center, and he was oh so close to trying to stretch it into 2, but decided to throttle down. So
Yeah,
good things there. You see Brian Wu come in the third inning,
made
and
Acuna look silly.
1, 2, 3, 1 strikeout on Acuna. Love to see it. Andres Munoz comes in, gives up a walk, but also records a strikeout. You were pissed because you didn't think he was gonna be inserted
Was
into the game. So I just told you need to be patient because you gotta let.
after he was in the game.
Yep, I know.
After. But
I was
uh
intermittently watching the All Star game, and when you said that, I'm like, oh, he's probably not gonna get in. And then I looked, I'm like, oh
I
shoot,
mean
he's in.
it was crazy because like last year they didn't use him. And it's whatever, he was a reserve guy
He was a
and
late ad.
yeah, but then it's like, oh, this year he legit made the All-Star team. Throw him in the game. Granted, I know they had to use a White Sox pitcher. I understand that. Everybody's got to pretty much play. So,
Yep. And then Brandy Arozarena 0 for 2 in the game gets rung up on ABS challenge, but
yeah,
he does almost take what is it, Jacob
Mizorowski.
Mizorowski takes him to the track.
Man, you struggle in baseball names, and I struggle in football names.
There's just a lot of consonants in there, and I've seen clips of the guy, but I watch those clips on silent, so
I'll
I never
tell
get to hear his name.
I'll tell you what. I'm not I really hope they don't have to face him when they play the Brewers.
I hope they do because I think Randy's going to actually take him deep. We'll chase him in the third.
Yeah, dude, when he hit it, I thought he got all of it, or at least got a great hit, and center fielder tracked it down. It's very unfortunate.
But we had the new rule for the All Star game where if it's tied after nine, that it goes to a 3-man, 3 out a piece, or three
Like,
swing a piece,
yeah, it's three
3 swing a
swings.
piece, home run derby. And Randy was selected to be one of those participants and hit one out there, and that ball was crushed.
Yes, yes, it was. And then he's just two under the other two.
So even though the American League didn't win, you saw all of the Mariners that were represented at the game get playing time and do something good with that playing time.
Mhm.
Um, just a fun 5 days.
Yeah, yeah, it's been great, dude.
And now
It
you're ratcheting up. I saw that Adam Frazier
just got
got
dealt.
traded from his old team in the Pirates to his other old team in the Royals. So you're starting to see some movement happening. I would love if Gino Suarez was taking third base for the Mariners tomorrow. Nothing would make me happier.
I have told you that they need to make a move before they resume play. I think if you're really serious about making that push this year and not wasting a superstar season from Cal Raleigh, you make a move tomorrow.
Well, when you look at it, you've got the Astros, then the Brewers, and then I think the Angels
Oh,
after
and
that.
dude, Gino's gonna if he came in against the Astros, psh, like we're just probably not gonna win pick to click.
No, probably
I
because I
don't
think
know.
Julio is going to kill it. But I do think that making that move sooner or later is a key. But
Yeah.
just from utter despair to jubilation, I think is how the spectrum was. And for you casuals out there, non-sweaties, with the Mariners, welcome. That's what it's like all the time. So,
Yeah.
like I said, you got to take the good and the bad, and that's why when we're looking at these things in 1 week chunks, sometimes 2 weeks, if we've got some stuff that pops up, but it's such a long season. You're going to find moments for each player, for a stretch in time, for that play that you'll remember. Memories were made.
Mhm.
Cal Raleigh winning the home run derby, Brian Wu going 8 pitches and absolutely piecing up Acuna, right?
Mhm.
Julio Rodriguez hitting three three homers in 3 days for the second time in his career. Like those are things that will stick with you. And the Mariners got to keep pushing forward. I think that Cal Raleigh and what he said a couple years ago, his willingness to sign a long-term extension with the team, I think has said a lot. And then you see his performance right now. I think that's the major catalyst on what's making this push forward. Obviously, if they weren't in contention, wouldn't be the case. But since they are in contention,
Mhm.
Cal Raleigh, I think, is a big catalyst to that.
I
And
mean, yeah,
it's
like you
not the most
said.
obvious thing, I think. There's a little more nuance there from me where, yeah, he said some disparaging comments, signs this. You heard other guys that want to continue to play here. You're seeing KADE Anderson said, I've watched how he handles this, and I'm so excited to be able to work with Cal Raleigh one day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh, it's
So,
gonna be so fun.
you know
So
what I
fun.
can't wait for? A few extra followers. You can
That's
do
fair.
that on social media. You can find me, your boy, Coach Red, on X at the Real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the Real Coach Red. Also find that show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. Kane, where you at?
Find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok and Twitch, Kane0654. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Boss. Do it, freaking do it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh. Peeps.
Peace.